This video was presented to you by American Football Monthly, the #1 magazine for the football industry. Subscribe to American Football Monthly today, and you'll receive exclusive coaching information from the game's greatest coaches and programs. Learn how successful coaches have built championship programs as they share their wisdom in exclusive articles. Discover a wealth of strategy and detail in our offensive, defensive, and special teams articles. Subscribe today, and you'll receive unlimited access to AmericanFootballMonthly.com, the internet's largest collection of football coaching articles. To subscribe, log on to www.AmericanFootballMonthly.com or call 1-800-537-4271.
Hello, my name's Burt Williams. I'm the head coach and athletic director at Georgia Military College. We're a junior college located in Milledgeville, Georgia. And today we're going to tell you a little bit about our 3-5-3 defense. This defense has helped us play for 2 national championships, win 1, and create 6 All-Americans in the 2 years that we've been able to put it on the field. So we think you'll enjoy what you're going to hear, and hope you like it. The position names in our defense, I guess is a good place to start as any talking about this, is up front we have a end on either side that will align base-wise on the tackle, and we'll get in that base alignment here shortly. And we have a nose man. We're going to be a three down man defensive front right now as our base. Behind those 3 down defenders, we have 3 backers that will at least start the play from the inside. We'll have a Mike linebacker will have a left bat and a right bat, which will align behind the ends essentially. Then we will have 2 dog safeties, left dog and right dog, on our defense that will essentially line 3 by 3 outside the ends that are right there in the box, immediate run support, and do various things for us. Then we have 2 corners and a safety. We're going to have a cover 3 looking shell and play a lot of cover 3 and man free behind our alignments. The basic fronts that we're going to talk about today, and this is where we started when we put the defense in, are the base front. We're going to talk about our solid front, which is a way for us to get to a four-man looking line. The under front, which is a similar way to do it, and tough, which is what the first front was we went to when we got into short yardage and goal line situations. The base alignment for our defense, when we started off on day 1, and we'll start with the nose and work out and back here in the box, that nose is going to be head up, dead center. And he can, we don't dictate to the nose which hand he puts down, but we want him head up on the center. We don't want him shading aside from our base alignment because we don't want to tip that center which way we're going to be moving on the snap. Our ends, left end and our right end, are essentially the same. We do want them to put their inside hand down to try to keep that outside hand free, just in case we're moving that way. Again, we're going to be moving and they will have to alter on the snap, obviously, but we don't want to tip anything pre-snap, and we want them to, again, be 4-tech, head up on that tackle in their base alignment. The Mike backer is going to be in a 10 technique on our defense. His heels are going to be at 5 yards. And again, this is a base alignment. This is a starting point. You'll see when we bring some cut-ups and some looks at our defense in action, you'll see that very rarely do we actually initiate a play when we are in our base alignment. These guys are moving and going around pretty much every play. The left bat and the right bat, 40 techniques, again, right behind those ends, just nose right just on their outside hip. Heels at 5. just slightly outside those ends. Right there, and that's where we have our left bat and our right bat aligned. Our dogs, left and right, their base alignment is 3 by 3 from the left and right ends. So they're going to be in there tight, unless we've had to bump them out for coverage as people try to spread us or whatever, but their base alignment again is to be 3 by 3 from the end on their side. We can play cover 3 and cover 1 behind it, and we have just a standard setup for cover 3 and cover 1. The next base front that we put in when we, after we got base set up, was our solid front. Solid is a way for us to get to a four-man look against an opponent's offense, and essentially what we do is take the bat to the strong side of the offensive line and walk him down and put his hand down on the line of scrimmage right there. We will have him aligned, inside technique on that tight end, which most people would consider a 7 technique. If there is no tight end and we've called solid, he will still stay in a 7 technique. He will not align on that tackle. He'll be very loose out there and have a little bit of air between him and that tackle. The end, the way you're seeing it on the screen here, that left end would be aligned in a 3 technique, or that strong side end would be aligned in a 3 technique, outside shade of the guard. The nose would shade himself weak. And the end opposite the solid would put himself in a 5 technique. Essentially, everybody would align themselves in the same front you would see in most 8-man front teams right there, as far as the 4 men down. Now your Mike backer will now align himself in a 20 technique, head up the strong side guard to the call where we put the solid down. Again, the base depth for that Mike backer is his heels at 5 yards deep from the ball. And again, he'll be in a 20 technique right there. The bat opposite the solid call will align himself in a 40 technique just like he was before. He will essentially stay in the same technique that he was in his base. Heels again at 5 yards. The dogs stay in the same alignment they were in. They'll still be 3 by 3. Now they'll go the dog on the solid side where the bat is walked up. He'll be 3 by 3 from that bat, which will push him just slightly wider than his base alignment. But that's where those guys again will align when we go to a solid front. Our under front is a variation off the solid. Essentially, it takes the weak side bat now and walks him down on the line of scrimmage and basically slides that front a little bit from what we saw on the solid. But from an alignment standpoint, the weak side bat, the way you're seeing it on the screen, is our right bat has walked down. He's in a 5 technique on the offensive tackle. The right end puts himself in a 3 technique. The nose man would align himself in a 2-eye inside of that guard right there. And the left end would put himself in a 7 technique on the inside of the tight end right there. Again, if there's no tight end, he would keep a little bit of air between him and the tackle and stay loose on that. Your Mike linebacker will shade himself to the underside and put himself in a 30 technique. Again, his heels will be at 5, maintaining the same base depth on this. The left bat, as you're seeing it on your screen, which is opposite the under call right there, will maintain his original position. He'll be in a 40 technique. Again, heels at 5. Your dogs still stay 3 by 3 as their base alignment, which would push, just like it did on the solid, it'll push the dog that is to the underside, will push him just a touch wider than he was in his base alignment, but still 3 by 3 from that end man right there. And finally, the last front we're going to cover today is our tough front. And tough was the first front we went to when we got into short yardage and goal line. The first spring practice, we started putting this in, and was a great place for us to start. It basically gives you a double eagle look front-wise on the defense. When we go tough, both of our bats will walk up on the line. Bat to the tight end side will align himself in a 7 technique. If there's no tight end to him, or if he's opposite the tight end, he'll be in that 5 technique. Middle linebacker will maintain his original base alignment, which will be right behind that nose in a 10 technique. Heels at 5. And the dog safeties will still align themselves, both right and left dog safety, 3 by 3 from that end man. So essentially what you're getting again is a double eagle front look with 3 linebackers or linebacker type outside safeties with those dogs right there in the box, and it's been a good effective short yardage defense for us. So what we've gotten coming from that base, we've gone to solid, which gives us a strong eagle type look, a change up for offenses to try to prepare for. We've gotten the under look, which gives us close to a weak eagle type of front for offenses to prepare for. And then we go into tough for short yardage and goal line now, which gives people a double eagle look in front to prepare for. And it's with 3 very simple calls that our guys learn very quickly and easily, and we're able to implement again, very quickly and easily, and execute very well. Okay, with those 4 fronts, being the base fronts that we align ourselves in, the next thing we put in were a couple of basic stunts that we use in our play calling. And the stunts we're going to talk about today are jacks, open. Open will essentially have our personnel moving to the formation call to the open side, which would be away from the tight end. Close stunt will take, again, will be based on a formation called by our bats or mics, and that will have our defensive line in front moving towards the tight end or close side, whichever side they call it to. We'll go over our pinch stunt. We'll also go over our tango, which is a twist we run from our base alignment. And I'm just going to draw the box here today. Again, everything's going to look like a cover 3 shell behind. Obviously, we'll be playing a good bit of man free behind it, but it's a standard look behind it. So I'm just going to concentrate on the box here today as we talk about it. So now we're going to do our jacks call. Again, our alignment right here is head up. Across the way here, we're 3 by 3. We're in 40s right here, a 10 right here, alignment at 5. And this, if you were calling this as a game, the huddle call would simply be jacks 3 or jacks 1 if we wanted man-free coverage out there. Jacks 3, all we're going to do, he's going strong, he's going strong, he's going weak. Both ends are working outside the tackle they're aligned on. Nose is working right into that A gap. Moving on the snap. Again, going from straight head up to these gaps. These guys are on the move. Essentially, this will be a 3-man rush for us if it's a passing game. Our linebackers and dogs, we're taking a 6-inch read step on every snap, reading what the offense is doing. We're not standing still. These guys are moving, reacting to what they see in the backfield, to what we've prepared them for during the week. But that would be our jack stunt. Our next stunt is open. And essentially what our huddle call would be on the open stunt would be jacks open 3, jacks open 1, or we could even do solid open or under the different fronts as well. We'll do it from jacks just because it gives you an easy, clean look at what we're doing right here. But if we had jacks open, right here, everybody up front, these front 3 here, are going to stunt to the open side. Our linebacker's going to give us a call. So as the offense gets down, we're going to get an open right. Right. Lets everybody know that open side is to the right. Again, we'll start from a head-up position, and we're going to stunt right now on the snap to the open side. It's that simple. Again, we can do this, and I'll go ahead and draw it up. If we wanted to go solid open, where we walked into a 7, ends in a 3, nose right there in a weak shade. Our ends here in a 5. If we wanted to go solid open, again, all we're doing is moving on the snap. You can do that. It's basic for every front right there. Open, we're going to slant to that open side, stunt to that open gap right there, open side of the call. The next stunt we put in is a close call. Again, close is going to move our men to the tight end or the close side that the linebacker calls if there's not a tight end. Again, as we prepare to go, the linebacker will give a directional call. Close left, lets us know where to go here. Tight end is to our left. Again, we have head-up alignments right here in that base front. On the snap, attacking, gap to the close side right there. Again, we can do that from solid, from under, we can do it from tough, we can do it from any front we put in there, and also put the open and close call with some of the blitzes that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. The next stunt we put in after we got open and close in is pinch. Very simple call. It tells our ends to take the inside gaps. Huddle call might be Jack's pinch 3, Jack's pinch 1, which gives us the front, the alignment, and tells these guys right now on the snap, moving from head-up position right now, pinching hard inside, trying to shut off the inside gaps right there. That would be our pinch call. The final stunt we put in when we started this going and developing this defense is the tango. And all tango is a line twist, really. It starts off the pinch with these ends. Both these ends are going to come inside hard just like they do on pinch. Now on the tango, this nose is going to step up field right now, and then he's going to come around behind the weak side end, head from call. That right there would be tango for us. And again, these are stunts that we blend in. Rarely do we have just 3 players moving on these stunts. We would put this in with another one of our personnel in here, or several of our personnel coming as we blend the stunts with the blitzes. But this is a way to tell our our defensive linemen where to stunt, where to be on the snap, and we'll put a blitz with it or behind it to get what we want on the field. Now that we've got our base fronts and stunts in, we're going to go to some ways in which we bring 4-man pressure from our fronts right here, and we have several that we're going to talk about today. The first one is what we call Bob. An example of a huddle call might be Bob open 1 or Bob open 3, giving us a man free or zone coverage behind it. We've got to get the open and close call to move our men up front. For instance, right here, I'm going to draw Bob open, where we're slanting our front 3 to the open side. Now, Bob open lets our bats know that the bat to the call side, on our open side right now, you're coming with the blitz, hitting B gap. So right now, if we have Bob open, this bat right here is going to take that B gap and come inside that slant right there to apply some pressure to the offense. Now back behind it, we have cover 3 or man free. Just draw cover 3 here. Standard corners in the thirds. Free having deep third. Right there. Dogs, taking out the flats, getting to the numbers. It's going to be their drop alignment right there. Responsible for the flats. Hook to curl behind it. And that would be Bob open. Again, if we went Bob closed, it's simply the opposite on our movement. Bob closed, we'd be stunning to the closed side. And now the bat, again, to the side, blitzes that B gap right. Hook to curl, changes up right there, and that's our bob stunt, one of the first ones we put in. Okay, the next stunt we put in is buck open or buck closed. Again, we need the open or closed call to have our defensive line moving. And now it's going to work the opposite of bob, wherever we call the stunt right now. For instance, right now, if we were to go buck open, and then obviously give a coverage call 1 or 3 right here, we'll say buck open 3 for this instance. Our guys, again, coming from a head-up position right here, on the snap, moving to the open gap based on the huddle call. And now the bat opposite the call will be coming with them on the slant. This bat can come from his original alignment. He can move in and out. He can walk up on the line. He can walk up in here and on the snap, come around behind. We give him the ability to move around, again, trying to cause a little bit of confusion on the offensive line and the quarterback. Wherever he gets in here on the snap of the ball, he needs to fit right here outside this end on the buck blitz. Again, that would be buck open 3 in this instance with coverage. Could be buck open 1 if we wanted man free. If we were to go buck closed, just like with bob, just works the other direction. We go buck closed 3, close stunt up here, walking up and go, or coming from depth. Again, opposite the open or close call, wherever it is we're calling it to. The next stunt we put in is tied in with buck. We're just having our bat hit a different gap right here. This would be our bat call. Okay, takes our bat and puts them into a gap. They learn it the same as they do the buck. For instance, if we go closed here, we go back close 1 or back close 3, whatever we want the coverage behind it. But you're going to get your bat now to the call, away from the call, is going to be coming in the A gap rather than outside. So we've got a bat closed right here, and then creep up here on the outside and bring himself in the A gap. Or he could come from depth, or he could come right up here to it. Again, we give our linebackers the flexibility to move and flow to create confusion, and these other guys are going to be moving as well, working in and out with these dogs, coming up, bailing out. It does not necessarily have to be a call, and you'll see a lot of movement when you see some of the clips of our defense. You'll see them moving around and have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. But this right here would be bat closed. If we send it the other direction, as we've done with the others, if we did bat open, again, we're moving with the call right here, and the bat to it, just like we said, is going to come in that A gap right there. Or excuse me, bat opposite. It's going to come in that A gap right there, coming with the slant though, taking it in right there. So right there, that would be bat open 1 or 3. The next stunt we put in to get our Mike a little more involved with it is just simply Mike strong or Mike weak. And what that tells our Mike is that you've got the gap strong or weak. And the nose has the gap opposite where the Mike's going. We'll put our ends hitting the outside the tackles on the snap, taking the C gaps right here. If we had Mike strong, you'd simply take the strong gap, and the nose works weak. Taking care of our gap responsibilities right there as well. Very important for these linebackers to hit the gaps as they come through. That's something we take a lot of time stepping through, making sure we hit the right gaps when we put these blitzes and stunts in. It's essential for us to be in the right place because we don't want to leave any holes open on that front. That would be a Mike strong, and conversely, this would be Mike weak. Again, the nose guard going away from where the Mike backer's going. And we can put this with the other fronts just like we did with the others. I hadn't drawn it up to all of them, but it's a simple matter if we wanted to go solid Mike strong, for instance. We'll go solid Mike Strong. Nothing's changed for anybody. Nose is already weak. He doesn't have to move at all. Mike hits right there, and we continue our play right there. So all these stunts and fronts, they blend very cohesively with each other, blends very well, very easy and easy to learn for our defense when we put this in. The last four-man pressure blitz we put in was dog. That essentially brings one of the dogs off the edge. Again, we can give them an open or close call, and the dog will come with the stunt. So if we had dog open one here, we go man free when we bring the dog right here. We've got an open stunt going, so this dog away from the call will walk up and come with the open stunt. Conversely, dog closed would have the line move into the closed side and would bring the dog from the opposite side with it as well. And those are the ways we look to bring four-man pressure from this. And again, when you see it on film, you'll see that all these guys are moving around. It's not a static, stationary front. The key for our defenders in here is to know where they need to be on the snap. If they're part of the stunt or part of the blitz, they need to know where they have to hit when the ball is moved, and also the gap responsibility for all these men in here. And that's something that, again, we spend a lot of time on in our practice preparation. Now we'll give you a couple of looks at some of the ways in which we bring five-man pressure. And again, like we talked about earlier, there's a ton of different combinations you can do as you make your game plans and your preparations for your package, how you want to do it with your defense. This is just where we started, some blitzes that have been good for us from the get-go, and ones we've developed as we've played different people. But these are a couple of the five-man blitzes we've used to a lot of success. And the first one we're going to go over is called smack. And basically what smack is we're going to send our Mike and the weak side bat blitzing the A and B gap on their side. And there's an automatic jacks call when we go to five-man unless there's another call associated that has them stunt somewhere else. So right now, if we were to get a smack call, and we would put that, depending on formation, we could stay in cover 3. If we get something different, we could check to man free if we needed to, if we get spread out. But we can go either 3 or man free, and if we want to stay in 3, we can void a zone underneath. It's not a big problem. Right now, we're going to be in automatic jacks, which puts our ends hitting that C gap right there. It's going to put our nose going strong A. And again, smack is going to bring our Mike and our weak side bat into the 2 remaining weak side gaps, A and B. So we're going right there. So we get a 3-man pressure to the weak side when we call smack. Now again, these linebackers can be moving from anywhere. We can walk, this bat can walk up outside the end to run the smack and come under on the snap. The Mike can align strong, come back under weak. They can come from depth. Again, we give them the leverage to move around, make some things happen, move in, back up, and come back with them. But this would be smack for us. The other 5-man blitz we put in initially when we went to this defense, we call blast. And again, it's an automatic jacks call. And all blast does is tell us to bring both bats in the B gaps. They're coming straight inside right now on the snap. Again, they can align wherever it is they would like to align pre-snap, as long as on the snap, they're taking these B gaps right here. That gives everybody, again, just like on everything else, we've got gap control across the board here. Put ourselves in good shape, but another way in which we've given 5-man pressure to an offense to try to handle. You can also incorporate your dogs in this 5-man pressure. You put yourself in a position, though, if you're going to have somebody that's going to spread you out to where you may have to roll your free down, depending on how you want to do that. One way in which we've brought the dog into 5-man pressure is to do what we call a boom stunt, and we would put that with open and closed so we get everybody moving. Boom is another way, we bring 5 men. If we did a boom closed here, we would walk this bat up right here, and the dog would sneak up. And now we're going to look to have a closed stunt up front. Bringing them here. Bat's going to come first level, dog's coming second level. He's got to stay as deep as the deepest hip. The toughest thing for us when we ran this boom stunt is this dog wants to come too flat. He doesn't want to stay as deep as that deepest hip. But they have to do a great job of staying at the level they're supposed to be at to make sure we handle whatever the offense gives us. But that's how we incorporated the dog into the 5-man pressure package. And again, that is boom closed. We could do the same conversely, boom open, bringing it from the other side. We have a couple more 5-man pressure packages that we also brought in that just uses these inside people right here. Double buck is one that has been very good for us, especially against teams that try to get toe-to-toe and really go at us right here. Double buck we put with a stunt, we put it with a pinch stunt. And essentially what we're going to do is bring both these bats up on the line or moving in, again, in and around this area. And now we're going to pinch these ends. We're going to take this nose to that strong gap we've got weak. And these guys are coming with them through the C gaps right there. And that again is double buck, pinch, bringing them inside right there. Again, gap control, we've got everything handled right there. Simply giving people a different look to try to handle in their offensive preparation and execution. Once again, trying to give them a different look. We got one more 5-man we'll share with you today. Double dog, again, we put that with a pinch. And this would be, we would tie in man-free coverage with this for obvious reasons, as you'll see. Again, putting the pinch with it. We've got this handled inside, but now we're going to squeeze these dogs up a little tighter and bring them from the outside coming in. That will be double dog pinch 1 for us would be an example of the huddle call there. This has been a good, was a good defense for us against when we played some teams that run a good bit of the option and some triple option. Just makes some immediate things happen right there as far as taking responsibilities. Gives them a different look as far as pressure right now in your face of that quarterback. Once again, giving him something to think about, something to change that he has to adjust to and to try to execute the offense to. And it's been a very successful front and or blitz for us. Again, we've really glossed over the coverage aspect of what we do, and I've drawn up mostly things to I formation. Tight end offense here, a lot of people want to know how we align who has who when we have a man-free situation, a spread offense. So I'm going to just draw that up, how we have our responsibilities right here. They're very simple. This defense blends very well to motion, to a spread offense, like we talked about earlier. It's simple to teach the zone and man-free concepts here. Easy for these guys to pick up. I just drew it up to a spread here. If we had cover 1 called on the outside, your corner's essentially going to have man on number 1 to his side. Dog's going to have man to number 2. No number 2 spread out into the offense. He would take number 2 from the backfield or cut back in looking for drag to help anything coming across. Same thing on the other side here. Number 2, man. Man on number 1. Of course, these dogs will play inside position. We'll be keying inside on the snap, looking to run and pass, just like you always would right here. Now we're gonna bring somebody if we're cover 1 practically every time. So whichever side maybe we're not bringing, these guys would have number 3. We'll banjo these guys right here, whichever way he goes, through the inside there. So this would be how we would handle the man free right here for our defense. Of course, some of these guys are going to be going depending on the stunt, so these guys would handle that back out of the backfield, whoever was not coming on the stunt. Of course, your free would be a help, having the deep thirds, making sure nothing gets by them, and ready to come up if it's a run, then stop that for us as well. As far as cover 3 alignments now with the defense, I'll draw it up again to the spread offense. Just standard responsibilities I'm sure you're doing with cover 3 back at your defense. The key dropping areas right here, probably the biggest thing is for these dogs. Your corner is getting to the thirds, 3 deep third. These dogs are dropping to the numbers about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, making sure they're in position to break up on anything going to the flats. We're about 10 to 12 on the numbers right here at the dog. And now we're going to drop, hook to curl, dropping in the center right there, looking for crossers, trying to get under anything breaking inside, but not getting past. 10-yard depth right there as we drop out of there. And that's our essential drops in cover 3 from where we are right there. Here we're going to have a buck closed. Ought to be stunting to the closed side, which would be up top, and bringing this buck right off the bottom down here. Number 32, our bat coming outside, everybody else slanting the other way. Our end does not give the slant like he should. But a good job running the buck by the bat linebacker. Here we see a bat close stunt against a triple option team right here. Stunting to the close side, bringing the bat underneath with it. We're going to see another shot of the bat closed right here. Stunting to the close side. Good job following through on the blitz, not slowing up and getting a sack for us. Right now, as you can see, all our guys are hopping in and out of the line. All we've got called is Mike Strong, but they're doing a good job confusing the offense, trying to get them into throwing something hot on the seam when we're coming on back out of there. Really only bringing 4-man pressure right here. And getting a great push up the middle. Now we've got another example of a Mike Strong from our base front right there coming through. 4-man pressure, do a good job right there at corner. Got man-free coverage. Good job staying with them right there. Okay, here we're going to see a good example of smack strong. We're going to get the Mike and the bat strong coming through the A and the B gap. Mike's a little bit late. He doesn't do a great job running it, but do a good job reacting to the ball and people getting back to it right there. Now we're going to see a good example of a smack weak. Again, from that base front right there, Mike and the bat are going to come to the weak side down here. Mike again's a touch late coming in, misses the tackle right there, but we're having good pressure across the board there and good hustle by our front guys. We've got a smack weak right here with our middle backer and our buck. But a good job running the blitz right there. Need to do a better job of making the tackle with a middle backer. We've got a blast coming right here. See, while he's walked up outside, up top, our bat. You can see where he comes back inside again. He's got to get to the right place on the snap. He doesn't have to line up in it or come from depth. Got one of them showing, one of them creeping a little late. Both of them hitting those inside gaps right there, getting pressure on the quarterback. Nice play. Now the corner again. Ball doesn't come out of there real fast when the quarterback's running backwards. Right here, we're going to get a shot at double buck pinch on the second play. You'll see the bucks walking down, getting outside, and again, those ends taking it inside. Get one guy free, and we get a chance for a big play right here. Even though we're bringing two off the outside, we still have great coverage situation out there. We don't put ourselves in a tight position on any of that. Right here, we're going to see another double buck pinch. You can see the linebackers moving around, probably not as much as we'd like, but doing a good job getting up there. A good job attacking right there. A good look at what we're trying to get done right there. Now we've got a double buck twist, which twist brings the buck inside. Again, the idea is to give an offense a lot of different looks with some movement, put pressure on them, not let them get their feet up underneath them, to get the ball out of there hot. Good pursuit by the rest of our defense. Right here, we're going to have double dog pinch. You can see our dogs walking up on the outside as the play progresses. Those ends are going to take the B gap, and we're going to track down the ball right there. As you can see, guys are moving, flying around. We're doing a good job getting to the ball like we talked about. Right here you see a nice look at a double dog pinch. Right here, a good view of that. Seeing both those dogs coming off the outside ends pinching against a little bit of an option here. You can see the dog taking the pitch like he's supposed to do. No fullback to take right there. It's glummed up anyway. See us working inside out. Good job by the bat, keeping his outside shoulder free and defeating the block up top. See inside out support from your middle linebacker. Okay, now right here we got double dog pinch. Right here, dog comes free off the back. We simply don't have enough to block him on the outside right here, but we're still in good shape coverage-wise as well. So the pressure works for us right there, overloading that weak side. Right here, we've got a cut of just our base Jacks defense. We've got Jacks cover one because we're down here in the red zone, but bringing three-man pressure right here. Getting man coverage with some center field help and some underneath help. And again, doing a good job getting pressure on them and giving their DBs a chance to make a play. Here we've got double buck pinch, cover one. Again, those bucks walking up outside. End should be pinching inside like they do. Buck up top came inside, shouldn't have done that, should have stayed outside. And got the pinch. We had a little bit of a bust there. Now we're going to get a look at a blast. Got cover one behind it right here. See him creeping up here late. Getting through there. Actually, got that one picked up, but we got it handled anyway. Another cut of Jacks 3, just base defense, playing 3 deep behind it. Got a second Jacks 3 right here, only bringing 3-man pressure. Another good look of it against a doubles look out there. Got a lot of guys in position to make plays right there. Dog sitting right in the flats. Hard to throw quick game. Thanks for watching the video here today. Again, I hope some of the things we've told you about our 3-5-3 defense, how we brought it into being and how we've organized it, and the way we do some of our base things from it will be helpful to you. It's been a great asset to us. In the 2 years we've had it in, we've had tremendous success. 21-1 record, a national championship, 6 All-Americans, set an all-time NJCAA record for fewest yards allowed at 67.8 yards per game over a whole season. It worked great for us, and there's no reason it can't work great for you. I hope it helps.